No one can seem to get over the fact that I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. I made a video a few weeks ago about how it doesn't feel like it's already November, and that November basically has turned into like pre-December, and that is all it has become. People were just shocked when I said, you know, screw Thanksgiving and whatever. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I don't celebrate Thanksgiving the way that everyone else celebrates Thanksgiving. And I guess because of the way I have grown up not celebrating it in the same way everyone else does, I have just been really oblivious to the fact that people still even do that stuff and take it that seriously. Like, I've already said like 20 times. Why? My family does not celebrate Thanksgiving the way that you celebrate Thanksgiving. We don't make like a bunch of good food and do all that stuff at all. You might be wondering why, or you might not care, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. So if you don't want to know why for whatever reason, that's all this video is gonna be about. So let's go back about 13 years ago. The last time we celebrated Thanksgiving the way that everyone else celebrates Thanksgiving was when my mom was pregnant with my little brother 13 years ago. And then my brother was born and everything changed, and I could leave it just like that and that would pretty much describe my life since then. But let's talk about Thanksgiving. My brother was born with a rare genetic disorder called Prader-Willi syndrome, and some people pronounce it Prader-Willi. I say Prader-Willi. Prader, it's the same freaking thing. There's a lot of things that this disorder will bring to a person's life. They do have a lot of symptoms that are similar to autism, behavioral, I can't say behavioral. It doesn't even sound right anymore. Behavioral wise, they're gonna have a lot of symptoms similar to people who have autism. And physically, they're not gonna be able to walk well until maybe like 3 or 4. My brother was not walking until he was like 4 years old, and even with that, he needed a lot of assistance. And then they're gonna have very low tone, muscle tone. They're gonna be very weak. Their muscle tone is going to be very weak all over. It's gonna be hard to understand them. They're going to have a lot of speech problems, things like that. The main thing this disorder entails for a person is morbid obesity and the fact that they are missing the gene in their body that tells the brain they are full. So they always feel like they haven't had a meal in days. Now, the way the child reacts to this part of the disorder is very much dependent on how they are raised. A lot of it is uncontrollable, of course. You can't control the fact that they feel like they are starving. You can't control the fact that they do have that feeling of starvation in their body always. That's just a constant in their life, and there's really nothing, there's no cure for this. That is just how they are. Depending on the way, depending on the family they grow up around, and depending on how they are raised to have a relationship with food, they may grow up differently, and this part of the disorder may be less or more severe than other children with the same disorder. Basically, what my family decided to do was remove all emotional connection to food in our lives completely. We did not celebrate food or attach the feeling of love to food. This way, he did not associate that, you know, food means love and that food is this, you know, powerful emotional thing. Instead, he correlated food with energy. My family raised my little brother to understand that there were 3 times a day that you ate, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you did that for energy. You did not do it because it's yummy, you didn't do it because it's fun, you did it because your body needs food. This way, even though he has that feeling in his body 24/7, he did not associate that feeling with the need to eat. He just associated it with this is a feeling he has. Instead of, you know, I need to eat, I need to eat, I need to eat. Instead, it's just another feeling that the body lives with. Of course, this isn't like 100% successful always. He's still gonna have moments where he, you know, wants food, but that actually never really became a huge issue with my family, and I think it has to do a lot with how he was raised. Because when he isn't around my family, if you leave him like with someone else, which we never do, but like when he went to public school, those food-seeking symptoms did show up more when he was around someone else and he wasn't, you know, feeling protected by our rules and our family and the way that we have structured things for him. So because of this, we really stopped the whole let's eat to celebrate Thanksgiving. We don't do that. For dinner on Thanksgiving, we do have Thanksgiving foods, but it's just like a regular meal, just like any other meal. We don't go like, yay, time to eat or anything like that. Because of the way that my family has raised him, he has grown up without wanting sweets, or he's never had cookies and fried foods and things like that. He has a very healthy diet, and he stands by this diet. Like, he wants to have his healthy servings. He wants to know what a serving is and wants to only have what a serving is because he knows that's what his body needs. His mindset on food and like what's healthy and what's not is pretty good in all honesty. He's 12 years old, and I think it's really good. But because he has Prader-Willi syndrome, even though he eats healthier than probably 99% of humans in America, he is still overweight, and that's gonna be an issue, you know, you can't really get rid of. That's just how it is when you have this syndrome. For example, I remember one summer he gained like 10 pounds and we had no clue why, and it was just because he had one extra serving of fruit a day. We took that one extra serving of fruit out of his diet and he lost that weight. So their weight can fluctuate so easily, and their body just can't metabolize food the same way that other humans do. They don't break down the food and use it the same way that other humans do. If we would have raised him to be the same way most humans are, and you know, think of food as a sign of love and think of food as something to celebrate. If we would have raised him like that, there have been several cases of people with Prader-Willi syndrome eating themselves to death. There was a grown adult who went to an all-you-can-eat buffet who had Prader-Willi syndrome, and he was a full-functioning adult, but he went to an all-you-can-eat buffet and he ate until he died. It's because no matter how much they eat, their body never gets that signal that there has been, you know, that they're full. They just want to keep eating and keep consuming food because their body still tells them you haven't had anything, you know, there's nothing in your stomach. So I think it's really important with kids who have Prader-Willi syndrome to be raised in an environment where it isn't a, you know, food-oriented environment. We don't do things that associate like food with a very important, fun, fulfilling, emotionally fulfilling item. You know, we don't say that food will cure, you know, if you're sad, here, have some cake or something. We would never do that in this family. So that's why we don't really celebrate Thanksgiving that way. Instead of getting, you know, the whole family together on Thanksgiving and eating and stuff like that, we leave, you know, let all the other family members go out and celebrate Thanksgiving the way that they would, like, you know, my aunts and my uncles and things like that. And then on Christmas Day, we all meet up together and, you know, have fun together and spend some family time together. So for me, Thanksgiving hasn't been that big of a deal, but Christmas has been a huge deal in my family. I adore Christmas. It's the best holiday for me because that's when I get to see my whole family. So that's just to clear the air on why I'm dissing Thanksgiving. I'm not dissing it, okay? It's just my family has grown up in a very different environment than most families have when it comes to food. So yeah. And on top of all that, I have celiac, so I can't eat gluten. So on top of all of his problems, I have my own food problems. So we just don't make food a huge priority other than we need it to survive. Sorry this wasn't an animal video, I just thought this would be something interesting to talk about, and every once in a while I like to give y'all some insight into my world, the world of Teller. Just wanted to give y'all guys, you know, some insight into my world and my life and how things work here. And if I'm really gonna try to do this Vlogmas thing, I really need to have some stuff to talk about. So thank y'all guys for I can never talk right. Thank you guys for subscribing, and make sure to check out my aquarium life because that's a website that we're working really hard on right now. So thank you guys for watching. I will get back to my animal care videos now. Sorry for these non-animal care videos. Bye. Bye. And for more information on Prader-Willi syndrome, you can go to pwsausa.com. There is no known cure right now for Prader-Willi syndrome, so donations are always accepted on their website to help provide money for their research and for people who have someone with Prader-Willi syndrome in their families. Thank you all guys for subscribing.